The true test of this no contact era will be how the next generation is raised up. A lot of people are talking about Oprah Winfrey's special where she gave kids an opportunity to talk about why they have gone no contact with their parents. And she also gave parents an opportunity to talk about why they have gone no contact with their child and or children. And of course, this is a sore topic for a lot of people. It's the holiday season. There's a lot going on in the world. And we need community, but a lot of people are lacking community because they are attempting to realign with the community within themselves on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, because they weren't getting it on this physical realm from their immediate family members, aka their parents, and so on and so forth. Now, for those of you that are familiar with my story, I went physically no contact with my mother's relatives from 2021 to about the later half of 2023. And then as I entered 2024, and especially by the time I got into 2025, I just had decided to completely remove myself energetically out of that situation. My mother passed in 2021, my father passed in 2022, and a lot of expectations and a lot of entitlement that I had to how I wanted people to show up, they just were not met. And it just layered the bereavement and the trauma and the post traumatic stress that I was already navigating and exasperated everything. And because I did not have proper support, I'm in survival mode, I'm in poverty, I'm a full time student getting my MSW, so I'm out in the field working with people in their trauma. I was just a hot ass mess. But God kept me because I held an intention to be kept. I am saying that because we are the new adults. And I'm going to be honest, while yes, a lot of y'all physically go no contact with your family, a lot of y'all anchor down in those trauma stories, rightfully so, because you can do what you want with your trauma and recreate that trauma for other people. Okay? I find it interesting that we are living in a time where everything is about therapy and spirituality, and everyone claims to be so healed, and everyone, is striving for perfectionism and overcorrecting the next person. But then we can all agree collectively that society has been on a decline when it comes to compassion, when it comes to empathy, and when it comes to being receptive to nuanced perspectives, when it comes to being receptive to energy that may not align with your status quo, but you don't even want to hear it out. You don't even want to engage something outside of what is barely working for you. And I say that because if we independently first don't slow down and look at ourselves and really be honest about the ways in which we are exuding the same traits that we once criticized and observed in our parents and in our elders, how the fuck do you think they came to be who they are? You understand? I think we have this thing where we all have our one thing that if my mommy did this, if my daddy did this, if my grandmama, auntie who raised me did this, then this is how my life would be, right? And it takes true intention to have experiences that will allow for the accumulation of wisdom for you to make it to the other side of that and recognizing a higher spiritual philosophy, if you agree with this, that everyone has always behaved in the way that you agreed for them to behave before you incarnated on this physical realm. There's necessary suffering that molds you into who you have always been, that allows for you to remember who you have always been. And then there's unnecessary suffering that comes from you being so out of alignment with the true essence of who you are, you get caught up in these storylines that are very outdated. Now, like I said, this is me on the other side. I have done videos talking about if you are someone that is not confident in your voice, you need to activate that throat chakra and say what the fuck you have to say and get that shit off your chest. Don't do anything illegal and don't do anything to anyone that didn't cause the pain and hurt and anger that you are feeling, but get your shit off. If you are someone that has always been known to get your shit off, Your lesson may be to have more of an introspective process, to have more of a solitude process, and learn how to be a bit more heart centered when it comes to you expressing your emotions. But you will only know that if you get out of the algorithm, if you get out of the echo chambers that reaffirm your sad story, your grief story, your trauma story, your estrangement story, and challenge yourself to reframe it and put yourself in the shoes of people that you have villainized, rightfully so. Everyone, even the people that have hurt you the worst, have the right to be who they are and show up as they are. You nor I are no better than the next person. That's the ego, which is the false self that has us operate in that way. I'm too healed to be around that person. I don't do that no more. I'm up here and they're down here. All of that is some hierarchical, egotistical bullshit. You nor I are better than the next person, even the person that has done the worst thing to you. And I know this message may not hit because we live in a society that likes to keep us sick. Sick spiritually, sick mentally, and sick emotionally, which then trickles down to our experience that we have in the material sense on this earthly realm. If you are someone that has gone no contact with people that you grew up with, your immediate family, people that have influenced how you see yourself, and now you're trying to unlearn that, congratulations, I'm proud of you. I am very proud of you, especially if you already come from a vulnerable population, LGBTQ plus IA, being black, being a black woman, being a BIPOC woman, being part of the BIPOC community in general. I am proud of you because it's hard enough as it is to exist with certain identity factors and labels in this society, and then to decide to do it on your own in a physical sense for a temporary period of time that can feel like a lifetime. It's scary. So I'm proud of your bravery and your courageousness. Congratulations. Again, not imposing a timeline and not even saying that you have to listen to this. But what I would suggest, learn how to walk and chew gum, and learn how to embed deep in your psyche multiple truths coexist. You can have your sad story, you can have your grief story, and so on and so forth, and be mad and cuss them out several times in your head, and so on and so forth. But always ask your higher self and whatever higher power you feel connected to on a subconscious level and within your psyche, to plant and water seeds daily that allow you to move forward from this one day, that allows you to transmute and alchemize this energy one day to a point where, yes, it is part of your purpose and may even have put you in alignment with your purpose. It is part of your story, but it's not your story. It's not your identity. I think when we have things happen to us that we identify to be really bad and we don't get the proper nurturing and care and community and support, it's very easy for adversarial energies to creep in and make that be your whole narrative for the rest of your life. Everything you do is subconsciously chasing validation, hoping one day that somebody sees you consistently and long standing. And more often than not, you will continue to be disappointed until you learn it's me. What I'm looking for and searching for outside of myself, yes, it would have been nice to have a mom that taught me how to do blank. Yes, it would have been nice that had a dad that taught me how to do this, that left me money when they died. I was struggling, this and that. Yes, it would have been nice to have had family member, friends, whatever the case may be more compassionate. My boss at the job. But it wasn't that way. And you chose that. You chose that because you know on the other side of it, there's a part of you, there's a layer of you, there's a version of you that needs to go through these experiences to grow into that version of you. So that's just my 2 cents. Again, if you're early in your process, this message probably won't resonate, but bookmark it. Maybe a year, 2 years, 10 years from now, it will. Bye.